Okay, a very brief recap. We arrived on the island. Um, there's a small community that seems slightly inbred, so they don't leave the island much. But they've been telling their generations as they grew up stories about this pact they made with Tiamat to keep them safe, so they can't go into the forest or things like that. It, it, it's kept hush hush. They're not really wanting to tell outsiders. As we speaking to this girl there, she kind of told us a bit of this information, and we went to speak to the leader, and he got a bit aggro when we kind of questioned him on this. Anyway, it comes that evening when everybody's gone to bed, we kind of having a look round. We go and check out the mad guy that's in one of their houses, and we discover he's actually a spy for the Cult of the Dragon, here to look at their defences and who's in the village and what's on the island, so they can raid it this very night. Anyway, we intimidate him a little bit and strip him naked and frog marching off to the elders, at which point his head's swiftly cut off by the elder, the butcher of the town, and he tells us takes us to one side and explains that the story about the pact with Tiamat is a ruse that they tell their villagers to keep them safe. But actually, it's a pact they've made with some infernal being. Well, anyway, the village starts preparing for this upcoming attack, while we go and check out this altar that's mentioned in the journal of this spy. Is hidden away in a ravine in the woods, and basically they're not allowed to go there, or they break this pact. Hence why they say that as part of the pact to Tiamat, they've got to keep out of the woods. Anyway, we go off into the woods, go into the altar room, and there's this creature from the depths that seems that's kind of confronted us, and that's where we left off.
Very nice. Really quickly, what's the name of the butcher again?
I honestly can't remember.
You just missed out on an inspiration. Oh,
I know.
This is Bob.
Alright, so you guys made it through the dark woods. You made it to the cave entrance. You guys had moved into the cave. And, you know, actually the journey was pretty rough, because you guys took a little bit of damage from all of the briars and thorns and whatnot. You found this cave. It was down at the bottom of a slight 20-foot drop ravine. You guys were all successful. Now, you have as you guys are kind of looking around, all of a sudden, Shen and Varys come stumbling in behind you, and they're all drenched from the thunderstorm and whatnot. Now, Varys, go ahead and roll a d6. That's how much damage you guys took getting to the cave entrance where everyone else is. Ooh, so Shen and Varys, you guys can add 6 wounds to your sheet. You're level 3. You're big and strong lads, and you can do that on the main page of your sheet. Good job. Alright, so a little bit of detail about this cave again. As you guys moved in, there's a large room, and it's roughly rectangular. And in the middle, or the center of this room, is a large rectangular block of stone. And on the stone, as you guys are, if you do not have dark vision, you'll have to light a torch and deduct it. But with your dark vision, you can see that, or if you have a torch, you can see that there are candles that are kind of melted and stuck to the stone block, with all kinds of blotches of rust-colored stains that are kind of, you know, all on the top of the stone and running off of the sides of the stone. There's a lot of mural art on the walls, and it's really crude. It's really old, and a lot of them are, you know, five-headed serpents that are rising from the waves. You know, some scenes are these serpents going up on the land, attacking, you know, the villages on the shore. There's also stick figures that are drawn that are on the water on what appears to be maybe a boat or something. Then there's some stick figures that are on land. Looks like they're pouring maybe seeds into the ground or something like that. So there's also as everybody has moved into this room now, I need everybody to do a wisdom saving throw. Because as you guys are entering this room, you guys are overcome with almost with this growing horror or this sense of fear. Wow, clutch. Everybody's clutching. Poor Varys. Varys, you have, as you walk in with Shen, you know, and you're dripping wet, all of a sudden you see this creature, and it is standing. It kind of comes out. In fact, it kind of forms itself from what appeared to be maybe a pool of that rust-colored stain on the block, and this thing just kind of formed, and it is a very fleshy creature, and you know it is humanoid-like. Of course, it doesn't have any legs or anything like that, but it's just like a molten, steamy hot mass of flesh, you know, with the head and the torso. And this thing kind of screeches out, and Varys, you become frightened of this thing. So now, yeah. So you have this. You're just overcome with this growing horror, and you have the urge to flee the cave. So you're really on the verge of, you know, you're kind of hiding on the outskirts of the cave, kind of looking in and you know, and just really mortified by what you had just seen. So there's some other things that you can see around here too. There's a rolled up scroll that's on the large block. There's also a pile of books that are in the corner of the room, and this creature, which all of you can give me a history check, and you can give me this history check with disadvantage, Varys, because you're frightened. Well, Marcus knows what it is. Wow, and so does Varys. That's probably why it scared the shit out of you, and that's probably why you ran out of there. But Markish and Varys, you know this as a lemur. And this is basically a creature from the depths. Obviously, it probably would be, because of this so-called pact that these villagers have with the underworld. So this thing screeches out, "What are you doing in my cave?"
O foul creature, we come to help the village.
I am a lemur! You are defending the village? For what?
Attempting to defend the village from raiders. They will be coming soon. You will be needed.
Raiders?
They
What
are
do you
coming
speak
to,
of these raiders?
They are coming to steal knowledge from the village. Any tomes that they can find, or ways that they can help their cause.
And the lemur, he kind of slides over. He does like a torso moonwalk over to the pile of books that are in the corner, and you say, "My tomes are not to be taken. I will defend them."
These people, the spy that we found in this village, specifically said that these people were coming for your tomes.
I will take my tomes back to my world then.
Oh, my phone. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Had a phone call. It's my son. I'm just ignoring it.
You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
I'll text him in a few minutes.
What is so special about your tomes that these raiders would desire them?
The tomes, they talk about certain things that I must probably not discuss with you. You do not represent the villagers, do you not?
We're here in representation for the villagers to see if there's any way we're going to help defend your island.
It is not my island. I just make sure that the pact is being followed, but unfortunately for the villagers, that is why I am here. The pact has been broken.
How has the pact been broken? They've kept that fire lit.
There are certain things besides the fire that are on the contract, and those are not to be mentioned, especially to strangers.
Well, if you don't mention them, how do we know if they've broken them or not?
Because, you fool, I am in the mortal world, and when I am here, things are not good.
What would the villagers need to do to correct their part of the
There is no correction. It is time to take payment for what they have done.
And what is payment?
Sacrifices. Sacrifices will need to be met.
We have a group of raiders that are coming to raid this village. Will they be a significant sacrifice?
Possibly. But there needs to be one sacrifice that is in the contract. That would be the leader of the village. He or she must be sacrificed. Speak up!
You demand the sacrifice of this village's leader?
Yes! That is in the contract.
I would like to see this contract. Everybody talks about it, but no one has shown any contract of anything that's of terms.
I sense that you know what the contract is for. I believe that you have been told already. My senses tell me this. Were you not?
We may have been. The question
Then
is,
why try to pull the wool, as you humans or mortals would say, over my eyes?
there is always checking the red tape, as it were, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It'd be useful just to verify that it is still under the same contract as it was.
I'm gonna look over at Kel and say, I don't know about you, but I typically don't argue with demons.
I am no demon. How dare you call me a demon?
Are you not from this plane?
I am not from this world. I only visit this world when pacts are broken. Now bring me a shrubbery and a herring!
So, like I say, we need to see this contract to verify, because I don't believe that the pact has been broken.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Okay.
With disadvantage.
Can I
Can I
actually,
assist
before
you
I
in
roll
any way
it,
by?
can I use my inspiration to
You sure
alter
can.
that normal?
Sure, you can use your inspiration on anything.
So a normal roll.
God damn you and your inspiration!
Says the lemur. So he picks up one of the tomes off of the ground, and he oozes his way. He slides over to the stone slab that's in the center of the room, and he slams the book down, and dust comes up, and it has this very low rumble as the book hits the stone slab.
And he says, "Come closer if you do not believe me. I cannot believe I am bowing down to the whims of a mortal. Oh boy, am I in trouble when I get back down to the depths of hell."
And he opens up this book.
Yeah, I'll go over and look over and start reading through and verifying the lines of the journal.
You verifying the lines, nice. Yeah, what this is basically the tome. It's definitely very old, and it's been written on some type of fleshy leather, and it is in a language you may not understand, Kalash, but I believe that you do have. Do you have Draconic?
Draconic, yeah.
Yeah,
Draconic.
you can understand it. So the writing is faded pretty badly. So you read over this, you're deciphering it, and
As I read each line, I kind of go, yeah, yeah. Just, for no reason at all, just to make it sound like authority, sort of.
Yes, this checks out. So this is actually a scroll that was in this book, and as you pick it up, it represents a contract between the servants of the queen and of the folk. And it details, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but you can just, in fact, you can give me the details if you want to, of the deal that struck. This was 60 years ago. And it is the deal that the Islanders, they basically traded their souls and a fortune of gold, which there is quite a bit of gold now that you're really close up to the stone slab. There is gold and gems up on this stone slab as well. And what's that?
Does it exceed 1,000?
No, it does not. Nope. But in return for all of this, gold and trading their souls, they were going to be able to possess the power to summon devils. And this was the deal that was struck. They wanted protection. The devils were going to give it to them. But in return, they wanted their souls, and they also wanted gold, gems, and whatnot. So somehow the deal has been broken. And you can see that on this scroll, it does say that the contract is in void now. And it says this in Draconic, and it says, Alberto will be sacrificed.
Try and see, look through and see the clauses and see which part they could have possibly broken it on. And basically, or some loophole that basically makes it null and void before they even broke that contract.
There isn't anything on the contract that actually says what broke the contract, but maybe you could find out later on down the line. Well, maybe you could find out. Maybe you could even persuade the lemur into telling you. I mean, you've been able to coerce him once into showing you the actual contract itself. So
right, I'm going to need to take this for legal matters because this doesn't quite check out. There seems something amiss here. It says contract is broken, but how is this broken? Have they called and summoned the aid? Have you fulfilled your parts of the contract for them to have to pay theirs?
We have always fulfilled
how-
the parts
how's the
of our
contract
side
been-
of the contract.
How has the contract been broken? This doesn't make sense. There is no Just in case
Human,
hear
you
why it's
ask
been broken.
too many questions. You're
I am
starting
no
to get
human.
on my nerve, and you have a funny
I
accent.
am no human. do not swear at me.
And you have a funny accent.
Now, it says contract broken, but it does not say how. So how can that be a justification?
Give
I see
me
at
one
this
more
point it is
persuasion
still
check with
fully,
disadvantage.
Fully in. Sorry, what was that, Dave?
Give me one more persuasion check with disadvantage.
Let's see if it is just as well.
You do not.
This is when the time is right. You shall find out if you are still alive.
And all of a sudden, you can start to hear what actually sounds like fighting and whatnot. Off into the distance, you can hear what appears to be maybe a couple of cannon explosions.
It sounds like possibly they are under attack.
The villagers will still possess the ability to summon from the underworld, but the contract is still void. And if you really must know, I will tell you, and you can spread the word.
These villagers should know how they voided
Yes.
their contract. They've been living their lives on this measly piece of shit island for this long.
It is a piece of shit, I agree. They know they are worshipping another god that forfeits the contract.
I have a quick question.
If you must have known, that is the reason why the contract is in void.
So if it is proven that there's no one from the village worshipping another god, that means the contract would still be intact, wouldn't it?
Do you not see all of these murals all around? This is the queen.
And it is the five-headed quadrupedal monster, and it's coming out of the depths of the water and whatnot.
And we have heard nothing but these stories since we arrived. We've heard nothing of this other deity that they worship, say they worship.
Yeah, this deity is called the Queen, and it's a five-headed hydra, basically, and it's from the depths of the sea. Yeah, and they've been mentioning the depths of the sea, but they've also been mentioning, the five-headed, Tiamat as well. So
Yeah. I think we'll have to continue this conversation with the villagers, Kel. I don't think we're going to get much more out of
So
this flesh statement.
I pick up the book with contract and put it in my backpack and goes, yes, we'll take this up later. Right now we have a village to save, so this can be sorted out properly.
You'll get your blood one way or another.
he snaps his
Either-
fingers, and the book and the scroll is back in his hand, and he says,
The contract-
no, we need that as a neutral party. We cannot be trusted for
The
either side.
contract goes nowhere. Do not
But
test
you need to
me
get
on
up there and
this.
start fighting and start getting your payment of these people attacking. That's far more important at the moment.
I will perform one last thing for these primates on the island. These traitors to the queen.
and then he disappears. And then everything, and as he disappears, all of the candles and whatnots, they flare up. And now the cavern is very dimly lit.
Okay, so we've got a 5-minute loop before we go and kill these people before we leave here.
That's up to you guys. But there's another stack of tomes on the ground. There's another scroll that's on the square slab. There's some gold and some gems on the
I'm
slab.
going to encourage Omi to get those books. You're good at that reading. I see the gold and would like to gather that up.
Yeah, I think we should take all this stuff, because if we leave it here and we go to help defend the village, if any of the second wave of the Cult of the Dragon come in, they're going to take all this for their needs. and then it won't be a benefit to the villagers at all.
All right.
Fair enough.
So it's better if we look after it, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and make sure that the Cult of the Dragon don't take it.
Yeah, I'll check out these books and scrolls.
All right, so the pile of books, they're in the corner of the room, like I was saying. Most of them are rotted, very, very heavily soaked with moisture. Most of the books appear to be useless. A lot of the pages are stuck together. But you can also give me, as you're kind of looking through those books, give me an investigation check. Now, as for the gold, Marcus, as there's several gold bars that are on the altar, and there's also a silver-plated, what appears to be ritual knife. Looks like it could be used as a dagger, but it's very poorly made, and as you pick it up, this thing hasn't been touched in a long time, and a lot of the silver starts to like flake off, so it doesn't look like it would really be worth
Like a real
much.
silver dagger.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
magical or silver, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The gold bars, they all have this they have a trade stamp that dates back 60 years ago, but the gold bars are in great condition. Doesn't even look like anybody's really even picked them up or had them in back. I mean, they're pristine condition.
Yeah, given the rush nature of this, I don't know if I paid too much attention to that. Other than I won't call attention to it. At least I'll do our best to sweep it in the backpack before we need to rush off to meet or set our ambush or whatever it is.
All right, and it really doesn't even look like anything's been in this room for many years. So it kind of goes to show that really nobody from the village goes into the woods. I mean, this is really actually kind of a untouched area. Now,
I'll look over to Cal and just say, and I honestly, or even to the group, I honestly don't give a shit whether they've broken a contract with these devils or not. Our quarry doesn't lie with the village, and I could care less what happens to them. We're here to ensure the safety or to figure out what the raiders are up to. I think that's what our focus needs to be.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm totally in agreement with that.
I agree. If these villagers have already sold their souls to the devil, I don't know how much saving of them we're actually going to do.
And to be honest,
our original mission still remains.
Oh yeah, and they sold their souls to Tiamat. Yeah. So
What it sounds like.
I've got even less sympathy for them. It's like we're defending them against followers of Tiamat, yet they sold their souls to Tiamat, and now that they've got to lose some of their lives. Whoopee-doo. Boo-hoo to them.
Yeah. So you got one of these tomes that were actually in decent enough shape, definitely written in Draconic, and you just stuff it into your backpack, and it's definitely written in Draconic. I mean, it sounds like you guys are in a rush anyway. So, but go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, before kind of just setting up, we still have that girl with us, right? Elisandra?
Yeah, Elisandra. Yeah, she's still with you guys.
So hearing the clashes outside, I'm going to suggest to the group that maybe we have her stay in here, where it's maybe a little bit safe. I can set up a hunting trap towards the entrance to see if just in case someone does come in here or find her.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it sounds as though maybe they're focused on the village anyway, so maybe they won't have anyone come here.
Okay, yeah, sure. She'll stay here.
But
She
like to
says,
protect her as
"I'm
much as
scared," and she's still hanging. She's still clinging onto your leg, of course. She says, "I'm scared, Dad."
Can I give her the dagger and just say, just in case, you need to be brave? If
Yeah, the
someone
little
comes in
ritual
here-
dagger. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
If someone comes in here, you need to show us what you can do. No one should come, but in case they do, I'll set this hunting trap at the entrance. It'll be covered enough so that it should go off should anyone enter.
Okay.
If you hear that go off, you start stabbing as much as you can and get the hell out of here.
I just start stabbing the dark air in front of me because I can't see.
You stab,
Except for the
stab her. I suppose
candles.
she really can't she? Yeah.